Everyone. A very warm welcome to today's panel discussion brought to you by the HR Association of India. At HRAI, our mission is to create platforms that connect, inspire, and empower professionals through meaningful conversations and shared learning. I'm Neha Jagnani, and it's my pleasure to be the host of this conversation. Our theme today is Next Gen Leadership, preparing today's teams for tomorrow's challenges. Through this discussion, we will explore how organizations can equip their teams within the mindset, capabilities, and agility required to navigate an evolving business landscape. Throughout this conversation, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat window and we'll make sure that they reach the panel. Now it's my pleasure to introduce our moderator for this session, Dr. Ranganath IVS. Dr. Ranganath is a contemporary HR leader with over 25 years of diverse experience in manufacturing, FMCG, IT, ITES, telecom, engineering, agriculture, and food industry in driving business results through people strategy. As Vice President and Head HR at Tropilite Foods Private Limited, he leads end-to-end HR transformation and people development across pan-India. He's recognized among the top 100 HR leaders. He's known for pioneering initiatives in culture building, change management, and talent capability. A passionate mentor and coach, he partners closely with business leaders to unlock performance and leadership potential. His mission is to create empowering workplaces that seamlessly integrate growth, engagement, and employee well-being. Without further ado, I now invite Dr. Ranganath to take over and lead us through this exciting discussion.
Thank you, Neha. Thank you very much. So good afternoon, everyone. So thank you, HRAI, for bringing together diverse HR leadership across industries through connecting dots. Now, it's a great privilege for me to moderate this panel of highly impactful HR leaders on such a relevant and insightful theme. I think, we are living in an era where change is no longer episodic. It's a constant. Technology is evolving faster than organizations. Business models are transforming rapidly, and the expectations from the leaders have expanded far beyond traditional definitions. I hope you all agree on that. I think the question today for all of us, not whether the future will change, but how prepared our leaders and teams are to navigate that change. The next gen leadership is not about hierarchy, age, or titles. It's all about the mindset, adaptability, the learning agility, the ability to lead with purpose in uncertainty. It requires leaders who can integrate technology with humanity, speed with empathy, and performance with well-being. I think that's a need of the hour. So today's panel is an opportunity to move beyond theory and the share real-time experiences, the bold decisions, and the practical insights, how we are preparing the today's teams for tomorrow's challenges. So with that, let me invite our distinguished panelists to share their perspective on shaping the future leadership. So let us know about our exceptional panelists today. So about Mr. Harjeet Kanduja. Harjeet is a senior vice president with Reliance Jio. Is an international author, speaker, the poet, inventor, whatnot, influencer, professor of practice, and TEDx speaker. He's also known as RK Lakshman of business. I think hope you all guys know that. We might have seen LinkedIn on his post. Harjeet has authored 7 books, 7 business books, including How Leaders Decide, Leaders Decision Biases, Nothing About Businesses, so on. The Storyteller and HR Mastermind. So a warm welcome to Harjeet on this wonderful panel. So thank you, Harjeet, for accepting this invite. So next go to Mr. Kaushik Chakravarti. I think Kaushik is a corporate mystic with 2 decades of diverse leadership experience across business and HR. He's the Chief People Officer in Savlis India, a leading global real estate consulting firm. Kaushik has distinguished himself as a visionary leader dedicated to creating organizational framework, nurture genuine human connections. A global leader facilitator, TEDx speaker, that's good to see that, and distinguished Toastmaster. His interests span leadership development, coaching of human space architecture. Beyond his work, he is a trucker. Wonderful to know he's a recent Bollywood debutant. So we also have a celebrity on this panel. So, Mr. Kaushik would like to know, which movie you're debutant.
It was more of a tick in the box.
Okay.
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 But yeah, I mean, I played a role in this movie called Tashkent Files.
Okay. So that's really great to know. Welcome to Kaushik for this wonderful panel. Now, let us know about Mr. Satish Singh. He's a very versatile and seasoned HR business leader with nearly 2 decades of experience, including 13 impactful years of experience in PNB Housing Finance Group. Having progressive from a manager HR to chief people officer, and earlier served as a COO of PHPL, and he brings deep business and people leadership expertise. Known for his empathetic and transparent and outcome-driven leadership, he plays a pivotal role in shaping talent strategy and driving organizational growth. So what a wonderful, diverse panel today, Neha. So I think definitely all the viewers will get a lot of insightful insights on this wonderful theme. So now, without any further delay, let us take the floor to dive deep and engaging and thoughtful, provoking conversations. So just to share with you guys, I think if you can see, this room brings together nearly 100 years of collective experience, drawn from a rich and diverse range of industries. So here is my first question goes to Mr. Kaushik. Kaushik, you see, in today's leadership playbook becomes irrelevant in the next 5 years. So what is one leadership behavior or practice you have already started helping leaders to unlearn? Would like to hear from you from your wonderful experience.
Well, the first one to answer is always difficult. But yeah, I think it's a very interesting question. Look, one of the leadership behavior which we are actively helping leaders to unlearn actually is control through presence. The belief that effective leadership means constant visibility, direction, oversight. Today, especially the changing world and in our professional services environment, like consulting, especially real estate consulting, we believe that with 62% of our workforce under 35, that mindset slows down decision making and quietly erodes ownership. If I talk about my organization, Savills India, we are shifting. What we're trying actually to shift leaders from activity monitoring to outcome clarity. Instead of asking, where are you on this? That's the traditional way of looking at leadership. Leaders are now being trained, coached to ask, what outcome are we driving? What constraints do you see? And how can I help? That whole listening part to leadership, the whole way of, trying to connect heart to heart has to be visible in leaders in today's world. And for that, as an organization, I think which is very important, organization today need to be seen and leaders need to be seen deeply listening to their people. And there are various ways through which it gets reflected. For example, in our case, the Great Place to Serve, Great Place to Work survey, where incidentally, consistently from the start of our operation in India, we have been a great place to work and been in top 100. But, how seriously you take it, how deep you go into listening to, the voice of your people, that is very important. And that really comes out in terms of the actionables, the way leaders for each and every team take out time out to listen to their development areas. I think those elements comes out, and from there actually we get into our performance, our annual performance evaluation, where some of the goal setting around the people aspect comes out of the organizational development areas that has been driven through the annual survey. Even to me, even the design of offices today, okay, it has to be reflective of the listening organization that you're talking of, the kind of leaders that are part of the organization. I think days are gone where leaders should not be seen working out of, I mean, that's my belief. For example, all our offices are barrierless. We don't have cabins in any of our offices, and there are 6 of them across India. In fact, globally today we don't have offices. We have done away with offices where there are cave-ins. We are trying to, and these are all reflective of what leaders believe in. What kind of behavior they're driving, behavior of openness, behavior of listening, behavior of keeping no barriers. That has to be there in the day-to-day functioning of an organization, and that all comes in at various level in the space that you create within an organization.
Wonderful, Kaushik. I think very insightful, thought-provoking experiences you shared. I think the voice of the people and listen and respond, openness. I think these are the things today the next gen leaders people are expecting from the leaders. Those days have gone, always say yes, boss kind of thing. I think today we need to listen more from those people and instead of, reactive kind of methodology. Thank you for sharing wonderful insight. Now the question goes to Mr. H.K. Harjit Kandujaji. I think, from your diverse experience, technology is advancing faster than people readiness. I think we are all hearing about a lot of buzz, AA, and many things are happening in current industry. So from your experience, how have you balanced business speed with employee well-being and sustainability? Would like to hear from your experience. Would be great if you can share some of the experiences.
Thank you. I will share an experience of my friend. In fact, I have seen, it is my experience only. I have seen him grow. He had a cycle. Then he wanted to do well in his life. So he worked hard. He bought a motorcycle. So that brought in speed. He was moving faster with technology. Then he grew further. He bought a car. So along with whatever else was growing, his tummy also grew. So then what he did was he joined gym. And now he is doing cycling in gym. Now you might see this as an incident, but this has a lot of relevance because when we start comparing business speed with well-being and sustainability, we have to realize, Jagjit Singh said, na, वक्त रहता नहीं, कहीं रुककर इसकी आदत भी आदमी सी है. So business is not going to slow down. Business is going to work and people are going to run with business because that brings prosperity, that brings growth, and they figure out other ways to balance their life the way my friend did to take care of his tummy. There is one more aspect. I had another friend, he's kind of 70 years old. I have friends in all age groups, like from 1-year-old to 70-year-old, in fact, 84-year-old. So Prasad was panicking during COVID. He was panicking because he did not know how his pension will come, because all these pensioners, they have to go to the pension office and declare that I am alive. Otherwise, their pension doesn't come.
Yes, yeah.
So he was panicking. I said, what's the problem? He said, I can't go out in COVID. I said, don't worry. I will talk to the pension office. I talked to the pension office. They said, sir, no problem. He will come on WhatsApp. I will verify he is alive. And the problem is solved. So I told Prasad, I thought Prasad will be very happy. Prasad was furious. I asked, what happened? So he said, WhatsApp is there for past 8 years. Why this guy made me run for past 8 years?
8 years.
Whatever
Okay.
he is doing right now, he could have done then. So when we say that technology is running away, it is not technology is running fast. Technology has always run fast.
Yes.
We have decided the speed of technology by adopting it. When it is in our favor, we adopt it. When it is not in our favor, we don't adopt it.
Correct.
So our problem is not technology. Our problem is if our fellow people are adopting it and we are not. then we have an issue. If nobody is adopting a technology, then it is okay. Because as human race, we have developed something, but we decided not to use it. Right now, I get a lot of auto drivers who say we don't accept, we want cash only.
Yes, yeah.
It's okay. Those are the people who are like now 1% of the auto drivers who want cash. Rest of them say, okay, Google Pay is fine. In fact, I sat with one of the auto drivers and told him how to use Google Pay so that he can accept these payments. The only reason was he was afraid that something will happen. Where will he spend money? How will he spend money? Will he be able to do it or not? That requires handholding. If we make people ready for technology, their life will be better. And as human race, we will be able to march ahead much, much faster. That's it from my side.
So wonderful experience. I think the kind of experiences you shared is a real time actually. So thank you for insightful experience, Harjeet. So the next question goes to Mr. Satish. Satish, based on your 13 years of long term Punjab National Bank experience, can you please tell us leadership pipeline experience? Are organizations truly building future-ready leaders or still promoting high performance into leadership roles? So what changes have you made because of your long-term tenure with Punjab National Bank?
Okay, so first of all, I would like to thank you, Mr. Ranganathan, for the lovely introduction. And one small correction, I am from PNB Housing, though it's 37 years back, subsidiary promoted by PNB, which is Punjab National Bank, but now
I'm
we
actually
are
sorry. Yeah.
totally a different entity. So that I wanted to correct on record because
Yeah.
we are two separate entity altogether. And coming back to the question which you have asked, so I think both of the panelists will also agree. So traditionally, not only us, so most of the companies, that was the tradition that people used to get leadership position basis on the past performance and not much of importance given to other softer aspect. It is always a practice, and it was a very prevalent practice, which when we also started our career, we have seen that the people who perform better, they get first opportunity rather than doing real assessment of somebody's leadership trait and the competencies, which are much beyond the numbers and the targets and the performance which they generally deliver at the middle or a senior middle level rather than moving to the next level. So, and particularly in our industry, because we are from BFSI, we all know that the way BFSI industry landscape is changing, and it has changed in last 10 years time, that whether be it regulatory guidelines, be it technology development, be it the customer segment, the customer expectation, everything has changed and taken a complete different leap altogether. As rightly shared by Harjeet ji, that earlier people used to do much of a transaction in cash. People used to visit banks, people used to visit to ATMs. Now nobody, you hardly find, on a lighter note, most of the ATMs you'll see only the dogs are sleeping inside it during summer, right? So this is how the technology has brought in the change. This is how the technology has actually impacted the industry, and hence the requirement of leadership mindset has also changed. We need people who are much agile. The leaders should be ready to accept change. The leaders should be having a strategic mindset and bend to see 5 years, 6 years, 10 years down the line, that what all going to change in the industry and how quickly and how faster we as a company can also adopt those changes so that we are much alive and competitive in the industry. Now, coming back to PNB Housing, we actually started this long back. In fact, we started in 2016-17 itself that during annual assessment exercise, we have brought in 9-box as a part of assessment activity that not only performance, let's also gauge the potential of the individuals.
Yeah.
That was the first initial thing which we actually started. And this is how we still do our assessment. Then we try to find out people into, that first 4 quadrant of the box, which are the top performers or the top potential people, which can be groomed and developed for future leadership pipeline. And then the middle managers are put on the first time managers. So that's an ongoing activity which we do. Then the senior middle people are put under 360-degree assessment exercise. And -1 and -2, which are the very critical positions and roles across the organization. We have very detailed and elaborate Korn Ferry leadership assessment in place, where we do assess not only because performance, we all know that numbers, everything is there in the company, but to really gauge on the traits, the competencies, the drivers of a leader should have. That makes a lot of impact. In fact, that was part of my progression also, that I was part of HR, then I was sent back to business role. I was there for business for 4 years, and then again came back as a CPO for the companies, because you need to put people into a different situation, a difficult situation, give them a different task and a challenging task, gauge them at a senior middle level or middle level, how they are performing, how they are reacting, how they are behaving in that particular situation. Then only you can prepare them for a bigger role and a bigger task. Because one fine day you decide that, okay, let's move somebody. Sometimes we may get success, sometimes it may be a disaster. So hence it's always better to do a small projects, put people into situational condition where you can gauge, you can evaluate individuals, that how they are performing, how they are behaving, because at a leadership level, the softer skills are much important than the, your core competence, which is the functional KPIs.
Wonderful. Thank you very, very much, Satish, for sharing your experience from both the angles of from the business also as well as in HR. How the potential is more important than the performance, and how leadership has to play very vital role on the softer skills. I think is a much more important aspect you touched upon. Thank you very much for sharing your wonderful experiences. I think now we just complete the one set of first round of questions. Now we let us go to a deeper sense of understanding. Come to Kaushik. If you see the real estate we have been seeing a lot of transformational disruption, across the real estate firms in consulting as well as India as well as the global also. So in this context, how have you prepared your workforce for roles and skills that did not exist earlier? Can you please share a specific intervention that worked for?
Okay, I mean, look, many roles, we are building in the real estate world today, like AI-enabled research, data-led advisory, sustainability intelligence, and tech-supported transactions did not exist a few years ago.
Correct.
Okay, and so with AI adoption, and I think it's as much reflective in our real estate consulting industry as it is in other industry, which is skill demand has shifted from pure coding to roles such as prompt engineering. I mean, something called prompt engineering never was heard of probably even 1.5 years back.
Yeah.
Today, all about prompt engineering, coding. Where we have seen organizations reaching turnovers of many thousand crores by, just few years back, by showing a path of coding for school students. From there, today, coding as a skill set, has taken a backseat. Okay, what is more important is prompt engineering. So it is as much reflecting in our industry as in many other industries. So AI workflow design, data interpretation, human AI collaboration, all these elements are the new skill sets, which is coming up, and it is in demand. Here, I just wanted to point out, one very important thing. One is organization. Okay, the other is how individual and leaders start perceiving these changes around them is also very important. I mean, all of us, at least the panelists that where we have seen. Look, I mean, for example, my dad was a government servant. Okay, I mean, I remember in the 80s when suddenly the desktop, started getting inside government offices. Okay, and there are people who adapted it very well in terms of the computerization process. There are leaders, and that was as much there in the private sector as much it was in the government sector. And and many people actually fizzled out, especially in the services in government also on their roles because they were not able to adapt to the computerization that was taking place. There are certain areas of governance which flourish better because of the adaptation to the changes that was happening. Similarly, if you remember, we have seen uh, the advent of emails. When I remember when email became a part of, there was a time when every office used to have an email ID from their individual email IDs. And then I've seen also cases where CEOs, senior level people used to take printout, their EAs used to take printout, they used to write comments, and that is to get relayed on this thing. So, leaders who are not adapting to those changes are the one who fizzled out. Similarly, in today's world, people, professionals who will adapt to this changing world of AI, whatever is your area. Okay, for example, for us, if it is HR, from our organization perspective, is real estate consulting. If there is the usage of AI is something which has to be mastered by professionals. Those who cannot, those organizations who is not facilitating that process will fizzle out. And that is what we are trying, ensuring that we are constantly in that process where every area of our business, our functions are in some form getting AI enabled. So our response has been.
To continue this, any specific intervention which you are looking for this entire process, Kaushik?
So look, I mean, AI leadership, programs like that we have facilitated. Most of our learning interventions are now embedded learning in the flow of work rather than treating it as a periodic exercise. For example, in 2025, most of our number of hours that we have put in, which is more than 5,000 hours considering the size of our organization. Okay, we also moved into cross-functional projects. For example, brokers is a big area in our business. They are shadowing integrated mandates that blend research data and AI tools for clients. You need to be seen as doing it in every way. And obviously, there are interventions that need to happen. Okay, and constantly for different areas, there are various kinds of exercise going on where we are ensuring that at least we are almost 90% there in terms of AI adoption.
Okay. So thank you, Kaushik, for sharing that intervention. So to connect this further, Mr. Arjit, I just would like to ask you from your perspective, in AI-enabled workplace, particularly today we're talking about AI across all segments, irrespective of any either manufacturing, IT, or telecom, wherever you see. So what leadership qualities have you seen remain deeply human? And how are you intentionally developing with these qualities?
Let me start with an interesting incident which happened.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, thank you for this question, because of which this incident came to my mind.
Okay.
So painting was going on in my house. So I had to shift somewhere. So there is a place between my house and office. So I shifted to that place, a guest house. Next morning, I had to go to my office. So I booked a Uber. And then I was working. After 15 minutes, driver said, "Sir, abhi kahan jana hai?" So I said, "Andar chalo." Then I realized I am at my house, not office.
Oh.
So I said, "Ye kahan le aaye? Where have you brought me? We were supposed to go to office."
Office.
He said, "Sir, whatever address you have put, I have brought you there only." And then I realized every morning I go to Uber app. It shows me office because that is my default. I click on that, and then I reach office.
Correct.
Uber did not realize that I am at a guest house, or even if it realized I am at a guest house, it defaulted home because Uber thought I would be wanting to go home. I did not read it. I just clicked on it and I reached home. The wrong destination. Now, I was thinking, why did it happen? It happened because our mind makes mental shortcuts.
Mm-hmm.
The way these technology tools are coming, we are making our mental shortcuts and we are using those mental shortcuts a lot. And when we start using those mental shortcuts, then these kind of mistakes happen. And it is not that it is a personal anecdote of mine. Yeah, that was something which happened. But the same thing happened with a large company who was working on a government contract, and they got a penalty of $441 million. Why they got that penalty? Because they relied on AI the way I relied on AI. And AI created certain references. It actually created certain references which were not existing to prove
Correct.
its point.
True.
And somebody did not pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
That is what we are losing. Moment AI has come, we have stopped paying attention because
Okay.
we have developed a mental shortcut. That is the most important thing which we have to develop, to come out of our own mental shortcuts and start paying attention to the things which are important. When I joined Workforce, one of my HR heads, he used to sit and read each and every letter of the appointment letter. Then appointment letters got automated. Then it was like the key things which can go wrong. But it is important to check those things. Moment you stop relying on your instincts and on your mind, then uh, then you will become okay. All of you understand what I mean. I will just highlight one more aspect. This is on attention. So I was sitting with one of my colleagues. He wrote, "Please write a draft email for me." He wanted to write it, so I told him, "Why are you doing this? Why are you saying please? If you don't say please, AI is going to give you the same response.
Okay.
You will conserve the resources." So he said, "I understand all that, but if I forget how to say please, then I will not remain human." And then I realized we are we are running for efficiency. And while running for efficiency, if we stop paying attention to these small things, then we will no longer be human. And that is what we must not do. We should pay attention. We should pay attention to details which are important for business, and we should pay attention to those things which are important for people so that we can remain human. So I believe I will stop here and
Yeah, I
over
think
to you.
it's very interesting perspective, Mr. Arjit. Now, I just would like to add one more, or ask one more insight from you. In the current next gen managers, they're more depending on the AI. Even I could see most of my team members, the moment I ask him to draft anything, immediately they go to, AI, they generate. Even they don't see the highlights of the some of the words and some of the sentence also, because AI also highlights some of the important points. So in this context, so what would be your single suggestion or advice from the next gen leaders how to overcome this mental shortcut? Is there any things they need to develop? Is there any things they need to work on their aspects? It would be great so that for audience also can understand. Most of the next gen leaders would be able to see how they can change their mind to mind shortcuts.
You're asking me only, no?
Yes, yes, yeah. Continuation.
Yeah. So there is a brilliant book called Atomic Habits.
Mhm.
In Atomic Habits, they actually tell you how to stack habits.
Okay.
So if you want to, suppose you have drafted an email using AI, and there is nothing wrong in
Wrong, yeah.
using AI. You should be using AI. AI is like what was computers in 2000 or Microsoft was in 2000. It is Microsoft Office of 2025, and you should be using it. You should not be apologetic about it.
Correct.
Thing is, you have to use your natural intelligence also along with the artificial one.
Mhm.
The behavior which you have to work on is, or the habit which you have to work on is, suppose you have drafted an email, say I am going to read the email before sending, before clicking the hit button. What you do is you stack a habit, and moment you put it to a trigger that before hitting the send button, then your subconscious mind understands it, and uh, it creates a trigger in your mind that you have to read the email. Once you read the email, just try to see, is it fulfilling the intent for which this email was written?
Correct.
If
Absolutely.
you're creating a policy, don't tell ChatGPT or Gemini to go and create a policy for me. Now,
Correct.
by creating policy, what is the problem you are solving? Is the policy which has been created is solving your problem? Then fantastic. If it is not solving the problem which you are trying to solve, then, and we were discussing prompt engineering, give a different prompt, improve it. Because even if you improve that 10 times, you will be able to get a better output. Your outcome is something which you should be driving rather than having a good English from a AI engine.
Absolutely, absolutely. So thank you, Arjit, for sharing that how to overcome this shortcut of the mindset. Thank you. So going to Mr. Satish. So tell me, which mindset shift has been harder to drive in leaders, moving from control to trust because you're working with a for long term, or from experts to learning agility. So what helped make the shift? If you could elaborate and give some kind of examples for better understanding of the audience.
Yeah. So in my experience, if you ask me honestly, the difficulty is to change in the, expertise to agility. That's something which brings a lot of resistance because as I shared that, people, and particularly in our industry, I would like other panelists to also contribute if they also face the similar situation. Because we are into a mortgage business, which is very much steady legacy business from last so many years. The method, the way we do the business, the way things are in Indian context, nothing much changed in terms of the business operating model. So the people, when they come at a leadership role or a senior role, are little resistant in changing their way of doing things, because one is obviously they come with that lot of baggage that I know everything about this
Correct.
business, and I am the most informed person as far as the mortgage business is concerned in this room, right? And it's sometimes because what happens that individuals identity gets attached with the expertise, because most of them, they are in the industry from last 20 years, 30 years. They have, many of them have not even moved in any other industry. They started in housing finance, they are still in housing finance. So the only legacy they carry is that expertise of mortgage business. So when they walk into any such discussion or room, the only thing which they have is that, the history and the legacy of, I know everything about this business. So sometimes what happens when there is a change, when there is a new team member, when there is a digital transformation which needed, you will always find that they will be the one who will resist. Plus also shy in terms of accepting that I don't know. This is new for me. because this is how the entire industry has evolved and grown in last so many years, at least in this sector. So accepting those leaders that yes, I also don't know in many things, and the new generation knows a lot of things which we need to also learn. This is something which is really a challenging mindset to change, because trust is something which you still can handle with the structural change, with the delegation, bringing some intervention. But, the change, the expertise change into the agility is something which is very intentional decision needs to be taken by the individual. So, for example, if I talk about myself, as you know, that I also handle HR, CSR, ESG, so in PNB Housing, how we drive this, that it should be driven from top. For example, though the ESG comes and sits under my fold, but honestly speaking, am I the ESG expert? The answer is no. There is a team member, there are team members who are much more aware, much more knowledgeable than me when it comes to the, ESG conceptual concepts. So there is no harm, there is no shame to ask कि ये क्या है? ये भी मुझे बता दो थोड़ा, या ये समझा दो, right? When you show such behavior, such initiative from the top, obviously it gets drilled down to the bottom, right? For a recent example, like, as you all know that there is a lot of, hue and cry, which has already happening because of this new labor code, because there are a lot of ambiguity, there are a lot of, things which needs to be cleared. There is no shame in asking, because the teams which are actually working on ground, they know better than us, because we are reading only. They are day in, day out discussing with the vendors, the consultants, the payroll partners, the compliance partners. So there is nothing wrong when you ask कि अच्छा ये थोड़ा detail में explain करो. Why to pretend that I know everything? So these are some of the things when you drive from the top, obviously it becomes very easy in any of the organization to drive this culture. And obviously, when I shared this in earlier question also, that sometimes you have to put people in a difficult situation so that they can learn and they can, and particularly if possible, then in cross-functional activities, which are completely a new domain. So, for example, I was also put into that situation. I'm a HR guy, friend to business, but given one of the new challenge, because company was expecting that I should be performing better in that I was given the responsibility to set up the entire the chain and the distribution network for the distressed property disposal, right? And but on the other side, the company has also given me the confidence that the accountability will be very limited. Even if you fail, you will not be held end to end, or there will be anything negative which is going to happen. We believe in you. You please make this, take this initiative and drive this initiative. If the success is, it's yours. If failure, nothing will come on you. So when you drive such, initiative, obviously it brings a lot of comfort even to the leader to, accept those changes. And once you are able to establish this culture, then it's really easy to drive. So that is how we are managing.
I think, that's wonderful. I think, that's where we can see that reverse mentoring is most important. We need to learn from the, next gen leaders. People are coming and who are the millennials joining us. We also learn a lot of things from those people. I think that's a wonderful thought process. Satish, now I think, let us go with the rapid fire questions. I would request all panelists, I'll ask each in one question. Maybe would request to give me an answer in one line. Which is how is impactful to the audience also. The first question goes to Mr. Harjeet. Harjeet, tell me one leadership behavior leaders must stop practicing immediately.
आता है, मालूम है.
Excellent. आता है. Yes. Wonderful. Thank you. So go to Kaushik. So one capability every next gen leader must master in the next 2 years.
Must have for next 2 years.
Sorry?
What is the question? Must have for next 2 years.
One capability every next gen leader must master in the next 2 years.
AI.
Oh, acha. Okay. So good. So Satish, tell me one people decision you are most proud as a HR leader.
So choosing potential over pedigree, you should give internal talent
One line
first priority
answer.
rather than going out.
So one line answer, what do you say?
Choosing potential over pedigree.
Okay, potential over pedigree. Wonderful. So Harjeet, so one leadership myth that needs to be busted.
So we live in extremes. Either it is a doomsday or कुछ नहीं होगा.
अच्छा,
It should be
okay.
कुछ होता है.
कुछ होता है. Oh, wonderful. So go to Kaushik. So one question leaders should ask their teams more often. What is the one question leaders ask more often to the team members?
What? Are you listening enough?
Are you listening enough? Oh, that's great. So we also need to think about, am I listening also? That also is important. Okay. If I'm asking other people to listening, I also need to listen. So thank you very much. So Satish, tell me one skill you are intentionally developing in yourself right now. What is it one skill you're developing intentionally?
Active listening, because that is something which leadership misses.
Wonderful. Active listening. So Harjeet ji, so one mistake organizations commonly make while developing leaders. What is the one mistake?
They don't develop it.
They don't develop it. Oh,
this is we kar lenge.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Kaushik, so one piece of advice to HR leaders, maybe HR next gen leaders. So preparing teams for an uncertain future.
Let go of any attachment.
Achha, let go
of any attachment to people within the team.
Okay. That's great. Thank you. Mr. Satish, so one word, what defines next gen leadership for you?
Pardon?
What is the one word that defines next gen leadership for you?
Keep agile, keep learning.
Keep agile?
And keep learning.
Keep learning. Okay, that's great. So now I request all the panelists to answer this to fill this sentence. Okay, to finish the sentence. The future ready leaders is someone who dash. Harjeet.
It is a leader who believes in लहरों से डर के नौका पार नहीं होती, कोशिश करने वालों की कभी हार नहीं होती.
Oh, wonderful. बढ़िया है. So Mr. Kaushik, so what is your fill this line? The future ready leaders is someone who dash.
Again, I'll say someone who listens.
Someone who listens. Okay, thank you. Mr. Satish, so what is for you?
I think stay grounded with purpose.
Okay. So I also would like to answer this question. I feel that does not have all answers, but keep asking the right questions. So from my side, I'll think like that. So thank you very much, panel. Such a wonderful insights and wonderful learning experiences from all your diverse experience. So now I hand over to Neha.
Thank you so much, Ranganath, and all the panelists, and especially for concluding it on a rapid fire round. It was quick and sharp and very insightful, of course. So thank you so much, Ranganath. We'll just do a quick Q&A. We have received a couple of questions in the chat box. I'll just read it out. It is open to everybody. We have a question by Mahi, which says, how do you ensure psychological safety doesn't turn into comfort zones that avoid hard conversations and accountability? And I think Harjeet has responded to it, referring to a Disney case study. If you would like to elaborate, Harjeet, or anybody would like to pick it up.
I can talk about Disney case study. Look, many a times we think that psychological safety is about being goody-goody and say everything is okay and nothing will happen. Psychological safety is not that. Psychological safety is making people aware that you are not going to be treated differently. Same rules apply to everyone. People are not hostile against you. So what Disney does is, Disney holds people accountable. In fact, all the producers, not producers, all the creative directors, they sit together. They read out their ideas and stories on which they want to make movies, because these are huge investments. And they read out the script to each other. The only thing they are told is they can criticize a script and say this will not work, but they will have to tell then what will work. So they are basically kind of telling the other person, what you are doing is not right. This investment will not go in the direction in which we want it to go. But at the same time, giving creative feedback. That is one way Disney has overcome. There are many ways in which different organizations have addressed this aspect of psychological safety. And as I remembered of this because I wrote about it in one of my books. So there are many such instances and many such case studies. I tried to put it there. So in case anyone is interested, the book's name is Leaders, Decisions and Biases. You can have it on Amazon and read more about it.
Sure. Thank you so much, Harjeet, for bringing such a great example. We have another question from Tushar, which says, how do leaders decide when to rely on data-driven insights and when to trust human judgment, especially when the two don't align? If anybody can address this.
Kaushik would like to answer.
Yeah, can you repeat the question? That's what I meant.
Yes. I'll do that, Kaushik. So it says, how do leaders decide when to rely on data-driven insights and when to trust human judgment, especially when the two don't align?
Well, I think that's what leadership is all about, where I think nothing can actually be given more weightage than intuition when there is a dichotomy, where there are two different direction is being shown by whatever, your data, your analytics, and what your heart is saying. I think the intuitive self takes over. And as you grow as a leader, I think there's a lot of muscles that grows in that particular area. I think for me, I will go by intuition.
So I think
Sure.
I just want to add one more point here. I think the trust comes from the accuracy of the data which you are presenting. Somehow I don't agree both or don't align. Of course, trust and data will align definitely. It all depends on what kind of data I'm presenting, how confidently, how accurately I'm presenting. That brings the trust element in the factor. Otherwise, there is no point of sharing the data.
Right, absolutely. Thank you so much, Kaushik and Ranganath, for addressing this. So I think this brings us to the end of this discussion. Thank you, Dr. Ranganath, for leading this discussion, and our esteemed panelists for your insights, and everybody in the audiences for joining us today. This discussion has given us some fresh perspectives and practical takeaways, and we hope the audiences today leave with new ideas to reflect upon and apply. We look forward to having you with us in our upcoming sessions as well. Our next panel discussion is on human AI building teams that rely on both intuition and intelligence. It is scheduled on 5th of February 2026. Thank you so much. Until then, stay inspired and stay connected. Thank you so much, panelists.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thanks a
All the
lot.
best. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.